It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to Did You Watch Survivor Last Night, the Survivor podcast for compassionate haters. My name is Jake Scheidel. Each week I ask my best friend Thomas Powell if he did indeed watch a certain reality show. Hey, Thomas, how's it going today?
Jake, I'm doing great, and I'm ready to go for the gold for Survivor.
That's right. Gold.
Do you ever think that maybe they should add Survivor as an Olympic competition?
Probably. I mean, it's long enough. How long is the Olympics? 2.5 weeks? That's about what Survivor
Something
is
like that
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be good. And anybody who loses in their competition, like if they don't get gold, they can go play a game of Survivor. And the first 18 people who want to play get to play. And then we get to watch that on CBS. That's the thing about the Olympics. It's all about the networks coming together, and I wish more people realized that.
Yeah. It's the most important thing about it. All your TV friends are together.
Yeah, I really do love that. Remember Battle of the Network Stars? That, but for the Olympics and also Survivor. That would be fun.
We got to bring it back.
Which Olympic athlete would you most like to play Survivor?
Lolo Jones. Get her. Everyone's favorite contestant from the challenge. Let's get her there. Who would I want to play Survivor that's in the Olympics?
I would love to see Shaun White. Was he also on the challenge?
He might have been. I would also really like to see Nikola Jokic play Survivor.
I would love that. What about LeBron James?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like LeBron would get voted off immediately, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, what if it's all celebrities? What if it's all Olympic athletes? Then you have to think about that.
Yeah, maybe.
5-time Olympian Shaun White.
I guess I do have to think about it.
Well, that's great. It is the Olympics, and we're all so excited about it. But that's not really the game we're here to talk about, is it? We're here to talk about a game called Survivor. Thomas, did you watch Survivor Micronesia last night?
Times are hard, you're afraid to pay the fee, so you find yourself somebody who can do the job for free.
It's the newest Olympic sport, and I did watch it.
Breakdancing.
Yeah. What if they had a breakdancing challenge on Survivor?
You know, maybe one of the Olympians could win that one. This week's episode was called A Lost Puppy Dog. Again, fine. Right? Like, what am I supposed to get from that?
Yeah, they're just very abstract.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like abstract things. Be straightforward with me, Jeff. I'm very stupid. Okay.
I'm all about open and honest communication.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey.
Not lies.
Yeah, like a lost puppy dog.
This is a lie.
This is a lie because it's obscure. It's obscuring the fact that other shit is happening in this episode. This episode first premiered April 3rd, 2008. Thomas, how old would you have been April 3rd, 2008?
I would have been 17 years old. April Fools, I would have been 16.
I would have been 17 years old. No April Fools. It had been my birthday since the last episode. Congratulations to me. I had my friends come over and they blindfolded me and drove me to Meijer as a joke. I think that was 17. Maybe that was 16.
I think so. Yeah, that was when we kidnapped you.
That was pretty funny. Pretty good bit for somebody's birthday.
It was a good bit. I agree.
Birthday, more like bit day. Because you were doing bits all day. Anyway, how many viewers do you think this one received? Last week, got 18. Nope.
It felt way off. People were so mad.
Last week got 11.34 million, and we lost Tracy. Do you think that brought people back?
I'm going to say 11.8.
Try harder.
12.2.
Try harder.
12.5.
Try harder.
13.
Try less hard.
Okay, 12.8.
12.84 million viewers. 1.5 million people.
Wow, I got it the first time. Crazy.
Yeah, it was incredible. 1.5 million people tuned back in after they voted out Tracy. Can you believe that they hated Tracy that much?
It's wild, but I mean, I think also time heals all wounds. People were sad about Penner leaving, so
Yeah. They're like, okay, we've had some time to recover. I'm coming back now. We start off on the Malakal tribe. Eric is feeling lucky to be there, but is scared he's next to go. Ozzy's annoyed that Tracy called him the leader when he's just the one who has a lot of good ideas. Do you find Ozzy obnoxious this season?
a little bit.
A little bit.
I think this is kind of what happens with him when he is in the foreground as opposed to just chilling, doing cool island stuff.
Right. Yeah. Amy and Suri go crab hunting in the morning, and it's a weirdly spooky scene. But they do finally catch a really big crab. Pretty exciting stuff for all involved.
It's a thrilling opening.
Amy calls her and Suri the Crab Warriors. I think that's a good alliance name, and I wish it had stuck.
Yeah, it's a shame that, I mean, when we think of iconic alliances from this season, I think number one is the Crab Warriors.
I mean, it's right there, Ozzy is anxious that the target is on him now, but Amy talks him down. Great. We love the favorites tribe. I guess they're not all favorites anymore. We got Eric there, but, he becomes a favorite in the future, so it is actually all favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's basically all favorites. It's favorites and future favorites.
Exactly. On IRI, they talk about their food dreams. If you want to hear us talk about our food dreams, you can subscribe to a podcast on patreon.com/justpodcasts. It's called Did You Sleep Last Night, right?
It is called Did You Sleep Last Night?
Jason gets in a...
For a little preview for our listeners, I did sleep last night. I don't remember any dreams, though.
Okay. Well, once people subscribe, we can buy you that dream journal. Put it right on your bedside table.
Ooh.
Jason gets in a fight with a rat and wins, obviously. Pretty good stuff. Loved this scene. Jason, what do you think of Jason?
I kind of like Jason. He's got a real positive spirit. It's a shame what's going to happen to him.
He's, he does have a positive spirit. He's a little weird.
He's very positive about the idol that he found.
That is a good idol. He says no one has eaten rat since the first season, so he's excited to bring that tradition back.
I thought that was great. What a wonderful way to frame eating a rat.
Yeah. Also, that's not a tradition. Tradition is something that happens recurrently.
He's making it a tradition.
Yeah, but he's not bringing it back. He's creating the tradition.
He's creating the tradition.
Every 15 seasons, somebody eats a rat. Nobody ate another rat until Survivor Second Chances, and then nobody again until Survivor 46. Remember that one?
It's true.
Parvati thinks this man's a loser. I forgot that happened. That was very funny.
That's mean. What a mean thing to say.
Well, she was on the villains tribe, and this is why. Because she was mean to that man. I
can't believe that she was so mean to Jason. It's unacceptable is what it is.
Would you say that Jason is trying very hard to be a survivor?
Yeah, I think I would.
I feel like I get that impression too. And that's why I think he is perfect for Survivor. Slackers versus tryhards.
Yes, he is a try-hard. He's kind of he's a guy that you think would be a slacker, but he's actually a try-hard.
Yeah, that's why I like him, because I can relate. James complains about their island. Sure. Parvati and James talk about who to bring to the merge with them. And Parvati and Natalie agree to work together. What about this, Thomas? Is this something exciting to you?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, foreshadowing of things to come.
Well, Parvati does say that her plan is now for her, Natalie, Amanda, and Alexis to be the final four. How's that? Does that feel right to you?
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Who's your favorite to win at this point before we get to the merge?
Parvati.
Yeah, fair enough. Tree Mail tells them to pick one person from the opposite tribe to receive individual immunity. I like this. I think they should do this more.
Yeah. I thought it's good. I mean, this is a good season.
It's a good season.
There's only so many times I can say that. It's just like, oh, it's good. I liked it.
Many are saying, good season. At the Immunity Challenge, Ozzy and Alexis are giving immunity and go to Exile Island. Meanwhile,
It's giving immunity.
it's giving immunity. Cross an obstacle course while the other tribe swings big bags at you. Good shit. Good challenge. Would have loved to see more wipeouts, but whatever. It's not Wipeout. What did we ever do an episode on Wipeout?
Did we not do it? Does John Cena host Wipeout? He has a
That's
show
why.
like Wipeout that he hosts, right?
He does host Wipeout.
With like Nicole Byer, I think.
That's right. So if anybody ever subscribed to Just Cena, we could talk about fucking Wipeout. But we can't, you know? Can't talk about his retirement
Sadly.
tour. Can't talk about Baywatch, the movie. Was he in that movie?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
If you want him to be, he is.
We can't talk about the show on HBO he does with the theme song that everybody loves. Freedom Fighter. What's his show on
Yes.
HBO called?
It's a very Jiminy Glick way to address it. What is your show called?
What do you call your show, Johnny?
This is on television. People watch this.
Peacemaker, right? Is it Peacemaker?
Peacemaker, yeah.
Okay. It's a good
I
show.
just love your show, Pacemaker.
Eric does incredibly well on the course. Oh, the winners get pizza and beer. Great stuff. Eliza is knocked into the water. This was the only real connection with the big bags. Would have liked to see more of it.
It was. I like the Wipeout style, like throwing the bags at people, but I wish that more people had gotten knocked in. I think I'm with you there.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny to see
Didn't
people
pay
fail.
off quite as much as I had hoped it would.
Eric gets too confident and totally whiffs it on his jump across the stepping stones. This was rough. This was a rough
Again, it
watch.
was rough, but again, if it was Wipeout, they would have had a bunch of like cartoon sound effects
Would have been
while
so
that happened.
fucking
It would
funny.
have been like boing.
Nicole
bonk.
Byer would be like, "Oh my God, John, did you see that?" That's my Nicole Byer impression.
Sean would be like, "I'm John Cena. I'm Pacemaker."
Okay, let's talk about what happens over on the Malakal tribe since Irai won. Amy doesn't see a way out for Eric. Okay, well, that's ironic. Eronik, right?
Right kick. I don't know. Yeah, I think ironic is probably the way to go
Ironic,
here. A little too ironic. Yeah, I really do think.
Isn't it ironic that at this reward they had a pizza party and they only had a spoon? That's a reference to that song from the 1990s. You might remember the decade.
Yeah. Man won Survivor, and he died the next day.
I really liked at this reward when Parvati was excited and went, pizza party, pizza party.
That's the exact attitude I would have in that situation. I thought that was very relatable.
Yeah, Parvati's the best. A Parvati pizza party. Talk about triple P. Product placement point. I was like, why is that a thing that's in my brain? Okay, so over on Exile Island, Ozzy goes to the idol spot and he sees that somebody got the fake idol. We already know this, but now Ozzy knows it too, so that's pretty good. What do you think of that?
I mean, I'm excited. I know what's going to happen, but I'm very excited for it happening. I liked on the preview for the next episode was somebody being like, that can't be the idol. It's just a stick.
And you know what? They edited that line for the next time on preview because the real line is even better. Okay, so on Malakal, Eric continues to be worried, but Amanda recognized that he's different in challenges. Sure. I don't know what you mean by that, but yeah, I guess he's good.
He's built different in challenges.
Yeah, that's what she was trying to say. Eric tries to convince Suri and Amanda to take out Amy. That would be a favorite gone. Another favorite gone. How many favorites have left the game? Jonathan Penner, Johnny Fairplay.
You're forgetting. Yeah, I was going to say Johnny Fairplay. You're forgetting Johnny Fairplay.
Johnny Cena. He's not on this season. He's one of my favorites.
He is not on that. He's too busy doing Wipeout.
He's too busy working with his pacemaker. Amy catches him and tries to argue her case to Suri and Amanda. I did like that it was just like Suri and Amanda holding court for this segment. It's like, come to me. Tell me why we should keep you. Amy is sad that no one really pulled her into the alliance at any point. Like, what are you talking about? It's a two-way street, you know?
Yeah, it's, you gotta put forth some effort here.
Yeah. Get Amy on Slackers versus Tryhards. Put her on the Slacker tribe for not trying harder to get in that alliance. That's a stretch.
Yeah,
Ozzy,
come on.
Ozzy returns.
Come on now.
Ozzy returns to camp, and Eric immediately approaches him to target Amy. Amanda and Ozzy disagree on who to vote for. Lovers spat, huh?
Sure, yeah.
This is like Shakespearean almost. Remember?
It is. You know what? I was just thinking it. I'm so glad you said it.
If we were to do Shakespeare 2, what play would you want to base it off of? Shakespeare 1, obviously based on Romeo versus Juliet. And that's what the play is called.
Romeo versus Juliet, the play. Probably Hamlet, I would think, right?
Ooh, that would be really good. That's exactly the play for like a blood versus water season, right?
Definitely.
That would be so good. All right, make it happen. Oh, and one of the Coen brothers just did a version of Hamlet that's probably pretty good.
No,
right?
it was. You're thinking of Macbeth.
Same shit, different guy. Am I wrong?
They're basically all the same.
Right. Okay.
The Shakespeare theatrical universe, there's a lot of continuity between all the plays.
Is it just me, or is Romeo versus Juliet in the same universe as Romeo and Juliet? Funny joke.
It's a lot of the same character names. It's Easter eggs for the fans.
Yeah, I love when they do that. Okay, let's talk about these wildlife shots. We, of course, had the rat that Jason fought and ate. Why did he do this? He was like, oh, I killed this rat. And then he was like, there's no meat on this. What am I going to do? Why didn't you, chop it up and use it as, fishing lures or whatever? Or traps for tigers? Do they have tigers
Proud
in
of getting
Micronesia?
it. You can always have a little bit of meat.
Sure. Then we have a spider. We have birds. We had Roland the Bat. Any update from Roland the Bat?
He's still my son.
Great.
And I love him.
And Thomas, did you just catch a coconut crab? Remember?
No, I didn't just catch a coconut crab.
Did you just fall out of a coconut tree, though? Remember?
Yeah, of course not. No, these crabs exist in the context of everything that came before them.
Do you know what else the coconut crab is called?
The murderer crab, because they maybe killed Amelia Earhart.
Exactly. Close. They're actually called the robber palm because they robbed Amelia Earhart of her rescue.
I don't like that.
They're also called the palm thief because they stole Amelia Earhart's palms, ate them up. They vary greatly in size depending on a number of factors, but how much could they weigh at most?
I'll say 2 pounds.
Try 4 to 5 times harder.
Okay. So probably 8 to 10 pounds.
And what would the number that between those two numbers be?
Maybe 9.
That would be correct. Thank you very much. And how would you describe their wideness? Oof. How wide would you...
How wouldn't I describe their wideness? How much time you got?
I thought you didn't get horny on this podcast, Thomas.
Yeah. You just weren't asking the right questions.
How wide could they get up to?
I'll say they're a foot
Try 3 times as
wide.
hard.
3 feet wide. I don't like these crabs. I'm just going to put that on the record.
I mean, I'm sure, I think the ones that they caught were about a foot wide, it looked like, but they can get up to 3 feet if they are in the right environment and whatever. Where can they be found? on the globe of Earth?
I mean, I guess they're in like tropical areas, probably.
Yeah, like islands on what oceans?
Like probably like the Indian Ocean and the Pacific Ocean.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, very nice. Where do they get their initial shells? These crabs. Remember, the babies are small.
Okay, so where you're saying where do they get their initial shells?
Yeah. What do they use as shells?
Do they use like old shells of other crabs?
Not crabs, but what's another animal that wears a shell? That's also
Like a
small.
snail?
Like a snail. Gastropods, specifically, which is just a fancy name for snails, I think. Anyway, what do they eat, these coconut crabs?
I think that they probably eat like birds and other crabs and invertebrates.
You got a couple, right? They eat the flesh of fruit, seeds, nuts, and they will eat carrion if given the opportunity, such as, I don't know, the body of Amelia Earhart or something. Was she already dead when they took her, or did she die because they attacked her?
I don't know. This is all speculative. Like
I can't believe you don't keep
I think
up with coconut crabs.
I think it's just a theory that people have.
It's a theory that makes a lot of sense. Do the coconut crabs eat coconuts?
I'm gonna say no.
You would be correct. So why are they called coconut crabs then?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, Thomas, these crabs exist in the context of the coconuts around them. They will sometimes use coconut husks as their shells.
Oh, okay.
What's their strongest sense?
Probably smell, I would say.
Correct. How long do they live?
Say like 5 years.
Try 8 times as hard?
40 years?
Try 1.5 times as hard as that.
What the?
How was I not able to do that math?
60? So 60
Yeah.
years?
I was like, what's 60 divided by 5? Impossible to figure out.
Yeah, no one has ever figured this out before.
If you want to hear me do...
The answer is 12, by the way.
Yeah, okay. If you want to hear me do math, or if we have a math show on Patreon also. You can find it. Can they swim?
I think it'd be funny if they couldn't, so I'm going to say no.
Start laughing. If left in water for 1 hour, they will die.
Damn. It's not what you'd expect from a crab, but okay.
How often do they mate?
Say like once a year.
It's actually fairly frequently, especially between June and late August. What month is it now?
Oh, so yeah, they're getting it on right now, is what you're saying.
This might be the horniest wildlife shots Thomas has ever taken part in. On the other end of the life cycle, what is an adult coconut crab's major predators? There's only 2.
Humans?
Yep. Humans. We love the taste, and some even consider it an aphrodisiac. And then back to the other end of the life cycle. Oh, because it's an aphrodisiac. I was like, what is that joke? I wrote that beforehand when I was doing the notes earlier.
Okay.
And I was like, that doesn't
I
make
love
any
when you
sense.
don't understand your own jokes that you made. Gee, I'm going to say, I don't know, like vultures or something.
It's in fact other coconut crabs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so where do they rank on the IUCN Red List?
I'm going to say least concern.
Oh, buddy, we eat these guys so fucking much. And there is a lot of infighting. Do you want to guess again?
Is it like angry about how endangered they are?
They are indeed very upset about how close to extinction they are.
Oh, man.
Last step
You know
before
what?
endangered.
Here's what I'll say about this. This might be controversial.
Please.
There's a lot of crabs out there. I don't know that we need these ones.
There's more crabs on the land, you know? Jeff asks if it's still fans versus favorites at Tribal Council. No, Thomas. Now it's favorites versus future favorites. Ozzy says certain things are not as they seem. I love when Obzy, what's his name? Obzy? I love when Obzy tries to be cryptic. It's very funny because he's
not a strategic person.
not the cleverest guy.
The most strategic thing he did was make like an incredibly bad fake idol that someone fell for somehow.
It's like, I feel like so much of that is just like confirmation bias. Like, I'm going to find an idol, and then you follow the clues and you see something, you're like, this must be it.
It's got to be it. I mean, there's clues. It's got to be the idol.
Amy cries because she knows Eric has been targeting her all day and she hasn't been as involved as anyone else. Okay. But Suri says you don't want visitors to come in and win the game. Huh? How about that? Eric's a visitor.
Very
so
interesting.
he might be a future favorite, but he's still a fan now.
Right now, he's a fan.
Mm-hmm.
You're born a schmuck, you'll die a schmuck.
So Jeff...
Welcome to hell, idiot.
Jeff then says something so thoughtful. He says, tonight's vote is about one thing. Trust. Has he ever said that before? Has he ever brought up trust in Tribal Council?
He's never talked about it before.
He said it as if it was like the most mind-blowing thing he's ever said.
Whoa.
It's like, you talk about this every week. So Amy's voted out 3-1. I don't think anyone was surprised. Were you surprised?
I thought there was a chance Eric would go, but I was not surprised.
Well, I have seen this season before, so I knew Amy was going. Think about that. This week we did see a delicious pizza party on the Survivor Island. So, Thomas, can you tell us the name of this week's quotes, please?
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty. Keep your value.
Everyone is like a certain ocean creature. Build a pizza to find out which one you are. In Pizza, We Crust. This is by K. Bye for Now, community contributor.
4,270 points. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Choose a crust. Normal crust, thin crust, stuffed crust, cauliflower crust. What is normal crust these days, am I right?
Yeah, that's...
With,
no such thing as a normal
with
crust.
the deep dish and the Detroit style, and now they're doing tavern style at Pizza Hut. That was a Chicago secret, and now everybody knows about it.
What is tavern style pizza?
I can't tell you unless you're here in Chicago.
Damn it, okay. It's like how I can't get old style here either.
That's right. We can't get Yingling here.
I'm going with thin crust.
Of course you are.
I like thin crust.
I'm going stuffed crust. Because I love...
Stuffed crust is such a situational pizza for me. Like, you really got to be in the mood for it.
And I always am. Okay, now this is the big question, I think. Everything after this is like, it's whatever you want. I don't know what that means. Choose a sauce. Marinara, pesto, Alfredo, or olive oil. A lot of really good choices.
Yeah, these are good. I'm going to go marinara.
It's classic.
I think, ultimately prefer a traditional sauce, but pesto was a close second.
I know. I think I'm going to go with pesto, but Alfredo is a close second for me. Alfredo is just like, it's pretty heavy on a pizza. It's so tasty, though. Let's choose some cheese. Mozzarella, cheddar, Gouda, goat. I mean, you got to go mozzarella, right? It's a pizza.
You got to go with a mozzarella there, I think. I mean, I like goat cheese on a pizza, but...
What about this? What about this as an idea for a cheese? Monsterella. And that's like a monster-themed mozzarella for Halloween times.
Okay.
Let's choose a topping. Bacon, pepperoni, sausage, ham. Sorry, vegetarians, you get no pizza.
Doing some very basic choices, but pepperoni, I mean, I'm going to pick pepperoni here.
I mean, yeah, it's a classic. Oh wait, but I'm getting pesto, right? So I'm gonna go with bacon actually. Bacon's nice with pesto. Choose another topping: onions, olives, spinach, peppers.
I'm gonna throw some onions on there, I think.
I will do spinach. I'm doing
I do like spinach.
I mean,
a classic pizza. My parents always do Italian sausage,
Nice.
spinach and red onion.
Oh, that sounds
I think
so
that's a
good.
really good combo.
I'm going to your parents tonight. I'm begging them to make that pizza.
Please.
Please make me this pizza. Choose one more topping. Basil, pineapple, your favorite, mushrooms, extra cheese.
Basil sounds good.
Basil
I would
does
put some
sound
basil
good.
on a pizza.
Yeah, I'm going to pick basil also. Well, I already got pesto though, so that's kind of extra. What do I have already? Spinach and ham? No, spinach and bacon. Okay, I'm going to throw some mushrooms in there. Do like a breakfast omelet kind of tasty pizza. This is going to be a weird stuffed crust pizza. Okay, choose a drink to pair with your pizza. Soda! Iced tea, lemonade, water. Oh.
I'm going to go for an iced tea right now.
You know, I do love water, but I feel like with soda, you're really getting that effervescence that's going to help you with getting more pizza in your belly. And that's the goal, is it not?
Yeah, I guess to eat as much as possible. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And then my blood sugar spikes for the next 24 hours, and I feel great. Worth it. What side are you grabbing? Garlic knots, buffalo wings, cheesy bread, bread sticks.
Garlic knots. That's an easy
That's
choice.
a good choice. That would have been my second choice, but I'm going with cheesy bread. Since I'm not doing as much...
I already got plenty of cheese. I don't need that.
I'm not doing as much cheese. I'm leaning into the pesto, which I know does have a little bit of cheese in it, too. I know how to make fucking pesto. I've watched TikTok before. But with the cheesy bread, you get the cheese. I think marinara sauce is overrated, but a little bit of dip with it is nice. Oh,
I don't like dipping in marinara sauce. I like it on things. I don't like dipping in it.
I like to control how much sauce I have in my mouth at any given time. You know what I mean? Speaking of sauce, do you want any dip? Marinara sauce, garlic sauce, ranch? No thanks.
I'm going to say no thanks to the
I'm going to
dip.
go with marinara sauce for my cheesy bread. And then if the pesto's not hitting, I can always dip the marinara, you know? Ooh, or I can dip my stuffed crust in the marinara. Damn, pizza rules. How are you cutting your pizza? Normal triangle slices, normal square slices, extra large triangle slices. Slice it. I'm leaving it whole. Ew, what a creep.
I don't know who that is that does that. It's a weird thing to do. I'm going to go with I like the square slices on a thin crust pizza.
Thomas, I have news for you. You basically just made a tavern-style pizza. I'm doing normal triangle slices. You got to get that stuffed crust in every slice, you know? Okay, I'm a dolphin. You're highly energetic and super social. Your off button is yet to be found, but you know the VP nominee is trying. I added that last part.
Oh, nice. Keeping it topical.
Yeah.
I'm a jellyfish. You love everything about the beach, from soaking up the sun on the sand to splashing around with friends.
That's so good. This is a pretty recent quiz, May 9th, 2024, but that was before Mr. Vance was announced as a dolphin lover, yes?
It's true.
Anyway, or announced as the VP nominee. He might have already been known as a dolphin lover. Anyway, Thomas.
Yeah, if people were willing to look, they'd be able to find it.
But why would you? What is your social media if people want to look?
If you want to hear me talk about dolphin loving, you can follow me at tom.tom.bsky.social or tom.tom on X Everything app, formerly known as Twitter.
The show's on YouTube, the Compassionate Haters Survivor Podcast, CHSP. Maybe we should start going by CHSP. Maybe that's easier. Is that easy to say for you? CHSP?
I don't think it's much easier. I don't know if it's worth it.
Compassionate Haters Survivor Podcast. Every word in that title is multiple syllables. CHSP? Quick, easy. Put it on a bumper sticker. Everybody loves it. What can people comment on YouTube?
Chisp. You listening to Chisp?
You've been listening to Chisp recently? Do you mean, did you watch Survivor last night? Yeah, it's got 2 titles
It's
now.
the new hot D. It's the new hot D is Chisp.
Yeah, definitely. What can people comment on YouTube?
Ha, very funny smiley face, or just smiley
Or
face.
just smiley face if you're chill like that. Our last poll asked nothing. We forgot to do a YouTube poll. So what can people ask, or what can people respond to this week?
Do you know what tavern style pizza is? Yes, no.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Good question, I should say. Yes, no, give it to me all. Man, I wish there was more quizzes about making pizza. That was really fun.
Yeah, I do like to talk about pizza.
I guess I could just make a pizza in my real life, too.
What would be the fun in that?
I could eat the pizza.
It's better to imagine a pizza.
Is it... Wait, no, sorry, new quiz. Is it better to imagine a pizza or eat a pizza?
Impossible to say.
We have a few shows on Patreon, which we've mentioned a couple of them already. Thomas, do you want to remind the people what they can do at patreon.com/justpodcast, G-U-S-T, podcast. You know how to spell that one.
I'm going to reiterate Just Cena. We played that a lot, actually. No, how about, what's the NCIS one?
Oh my God, Just Scorpion?
Just Scorpion, yeah. How about Just Scorpion?
Why? Why are we doing that one?
I always forget we have that
I
one,
do
so
too.
I'm going to shout it out.
I always whenever you mention that one, I'm like, oh, let me go look at the tiers again, because I've apparently forgotten about some, and then it takes a million years to load. Anyway, thank you to Thomas for saying this next part. Thomas, do you want to thank the fans?
I would love to thank the listeners. Thank you for listening.
And do you want to thank the favorites?
I would also love to thank the favorites. Thank you for being favorites.
Thank you for being on our TV. If people wanted to review us on Apple Podcasts or any other podcast catcher, what would they comment?
This is my favorite podcast. I like it better than all the other podcasts. I give it a big thumbs up.
That's really good. Okay. We will be back next week with episode 9 of Micronesia, and we will be going through our own episode titles from the last 25 episodes of our own show. See if we're any better than Mr. Quopst himself. So you're excited about that?
Yeah, I always forget that we're doing it, but it's always fun to do.
Absolutely. All right, well, till then, have a great summer.
Deuces.
Did you see the simulated cast I sent on our group chat yesterday?
I did. Yeah, it was like football, basketball. Do you have baseball on there?
Take a look at it again, buddy. You missed something.
Yeah. Other sports.
Other sports was a tribe, yeah.
I did look at this. I'm just the Hollywood tribe, of course.
Oh, right, because it's celebrities.
It was the basketball tribe.
The
so it was
baseball tribe. And basketball, yeah.
People really wanted John Rocker back.
They were
I
like,
think we
John
can all
Rocker,
agree
you were
on
so
that.
great. We loved
That was the
seeing your
price.
demise.
That was the price of bringing Cliff Robinson back from the dead, was that
Yeah.
John Rocker had to be on there also.
We did. It's a monkey paws situation for Survivor. We said, Survivor gods. On Survivor 47, you can make one wish. And we wished for Cliff Robinson to come back for the returning season. And the monkey's paw curled and said, all right, John Rocker will also come back.
Is Mari Takahashi, do you consider Mari to be Hollywood? Wasn't she hosting some sort of TV interview thing?
She's...
Like some sort of gaming thing, right?
Yeah. She recently had a heel turn, though, and now she's called Hollywood Mari.
Oh, okay. That's why she's got the goatee.
Yeah, she's got
the
a
black
gold
stubble with the blonde handlebar mustache.
Yeah, the gold zone for Mari is her own goatee.
Of course, yeah. Also, why isn't the Wheel of Time guy on the Hollywood tribe?
Because I forgot about him.
Oh, okay.
Rafe Judkins.
Regardless, I'm into this. I like
Yeah.
I like the tribes.
It was a pretty brutal boot order, as the fandom calls it.
Was Crystal Cox the Olympian that was couldn't do any of the athletic challenges?
Yeah, that was her.
Okay, yeah.
She took 4th place. Oh,
Elizabeth Basil was she was like a swimmer, wasn't she?
in the
What kind
Olympics,
of
ever
other
heard of
athlete
it?
is he? Yes, I have. Yeah, it's actually happening right now. Ethan Zahn. What is he? How is Ethan Zahn an athlete?
He was a soccer player back in the day. I don't know if he still
Okay.
plays, but I know when he was on the show, he was a semi-pro soccer player, I think, maybe professional.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good cast. And I'd love to see them do it. We also had to get David. Damn, the basketball tribe absolutely blows, except for Cliff Robinson. Like, Cliff
Yeah, it's
Robinson
rough.
comes back, but also 4 of the worst guys who have ever been on this show.
Scott Pollard is, like, I think pretty easily the second best person of that.
Yeah. And then David
I guess I don't
Sampson.
really know anything about David Sampson, but
If you watch the Levitard show, you would know more about him, and you would not like him. He sucks a lot. And then we did have our winner come from that tribe. It was Jeff Kent.
he got his $600,000.
You know, once Kamala takes it. Updated the joke for modern times, you know. Once
Yeah, that's
Brandon takes it. Remember Dark Brandon? He used to be president.
He was gonna be unleashed. Do you remember the fucking can of water that they had him drinking or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
They did the, like, Michael Secret Stuff thing before the debate. And
Yeah.
What happened to that? Why did they not?
I think it's cool, though. I think he's a cool guy. Who's your favorite for Veep? Ooh, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Could be Veep for
I would
for the Veep.
I would love Julia Louis-Dreyfus to be there. I would say
Call her
probably
JLD.
probably Tim Waltz of the realistic candidates. I would love
not a funny answer.
I would love it to be Big Boy season. I would love JB Pritzker to be there, but it doesn't sound like it's gonna be him. And
If you're looking for a smart big boy who's not doing anything right now, what about Keith Lee?
yeah,
I mean,
indubitably.
you want to clear your throat before we start?
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
Smarten up, probes.